Sorry for the last minute fire drill, everybody, but it's been a crazy morning here, as you can imagine, and Mike is going to share some exciting news with you all. So I'll just go ahead and toss it to you, Mike.
All right, thanks, Taylor. Boy, talk about exciting news. We did receive the first doses of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine this morning here at the hospital, and we are expecting similar deliveries in the day tomorrow or the next or today later at some of our other facilities. This is really incredible moment in medical history, at least in mine. I was able to touch one of those COVID vaccine vial as we were moving it from the ultra low freezer into the refrigerator, so we can start the preparation process for letting it thaw and for vaccination in the next several days. So it is hope in a bottle. It is an early Christmas present for all of us who have been dealing with the COVID pandemic for ever since it started back in early February and April.
Mike, can you clarify exactly where we have received the vaccine?
Certainly, we've received it at COMC Bergen Mercy. We do have it here, and we expect it at St. Elizabeth's in Lincoln, and also St. Francis in Grand Island. We expect to see that arrive tomorrow.
So you guys can start submitting your questions in the chat, but talk about how kind of fluid this process was and how quickly everything kind of happened today. It's been kind of a whirlwind.
My goodness, yes. You know, we realized as soon as the FDA approved it on Friday, we started getting notification that our order has been placed from Pfizer. But until we received tracking information and verification that it actually came on site this morning, we were just searching our emails and watching our text messages frequently all day long and into the evening to see when the vaccine was going to arrive. So it might have been today and could have been as far out as Wednesday, but we are very fortunate it is here on site today, and we can really start finalizing our vaccination processes now that we know the vaccine is here and is in our hands to take it forward.
So I'm getting a lot of questions about when we're going to be starting vaccinations, and I did want to share that we are obviously working on those plans now, and we expect to start sometime this week. That's really all the information we have right now. But Mike, can you talk a little bit about how we identify who the first recipients are, who are going to be the first people to receive this?
Absolutely. We've talked a little bit about in the past making sure we stagger the dose. We need to make a look at our first line caregivers and identify and stratify again with regard to all the risks that are out there, and making sure that we spread it equitably about all of our employees. So we are working with our incident commands at each campus to identify the folks that are interested in receiving the vaccine. It is a EUA, and therefore it is not required for folks to take this. It's optional. And so if they wish to, and I would highly recommend that. I know when my turn comes up, I am certainly going to get the vaccine.
And I did want to also share with you guys that we do have pictures and video coming of the vaccine's arrival at CUMC Bergen Mercy this morning. So that is being uploaded right now, and we'll send you that as soon as we have it. Can you elaborate on the process of unpacking, Mike, and what that was like this morning, and kind of the thawing process for the vaccine? Kind of the requirements are very strict, so talk about that.
Absolutely. First off, the excitement of opening the freezer and touching the pizza box, as it's been known to be named now, and then taking out that first vaccine was an incredible moment, at least in my career. The vaccine, as we all know, has to be kept between 60 and 80 degrees below 0 Celsius. Once the vaccine comes out and we open up the tray, we only have 3 minutes to remove that vaccine out of that tray and then place that tray back into the freezer. The vaccine then thaws at either 30 minutes room temperature or 3 hours in the refrigerator. It's stable for 5 days in the refrigerator. That gives us the amount of time to make sure we have the folks that are going to be vaccinated and all the processes that take place in reconstituting the vaccine, drying it up, and making it ready for our staff to become vaccinated.
I'm getting some questions about is there an opportunity for us to film the first person getting vaccinated? Yes, we are working all of that out right now. And as soon as we have the information of when it's taking place, we will send out the invite to you all and kind of, the plan that we have. So that is to come. Mike, when did the first shipment come in this morning?
It arrived at CMC Bergen Mercy at 6:30 this morning. And we're still waiting for the other sites.
Yes, I was going to say, it's all very fluid, but do we know when it's going to get to St. Elizabeth and Lincoln? I know you mentioned tomorrow for St. Francis.
Correct.
Do we know when it'll get to St. Elizabeth?
Not yet. We expect it anytime, but we're still waiting for the confirmation.
Okay. If you guys have more questions, go ahead and submit them now. Mike, I think you touched on this, but we were chatting this morning. How big of a deal is this in history to see, this vaccine delivered? What is that like for you as somebody who's been working on it for so long?
Yeah, we've been focused on this since midsummer and preparing for the vaccine, from the ultra lows to all the processes to take place to make sure that it's stored appropriately, it's reconstituted appropriately, it's administered appropriately. And then on top of that, there's a huge amount of documentation and regulations that are required of submitting to make sure that the CDC and all the government folks are aware of all the information and tracking of the vaccine. So a lot has been going on with regard to that. As in history wise, time will tell, but I put this up as some of the most significant events in medication and vaccine history for us, because it's a game changer.
We know the vaccine is only for people over 16 years old. Any explanation as to why that is?
That's all it was initially tested in. More will come, more information will come in time.
Can you describe in further detail the steps that you guys have to follow to administer the shots?
I can, from a pharmacy standpoint, I can certainly expand on the dilution process. We need to take it out, thaw it. It needs to be inverted, rotated 10 times. Then we add a certain amount of diluent. Then we withdraw, and the dose of the vaccine is 0.3 mLs. There's 5 doses in each vial. It's stable for 6 hours after it has been reconstituted. And then pharmacy will be reconstituting and drawing it up in the syringes and providing it to the folks, the vaccinators. And they will be vaccinating the staff and working through the process there.
Can you also share how many doses were in the first shipment that we got here at CUMC Bergen?
Sure. We got 4 pizza box size containers. There's 975 doses per container. And we are working with our Douglas County Coalition, and so are the other sites, along with the state of Nebraska. Some of those doses will be distributed to other facilities in our area. The majority of them will stay here at CMC Bergen Mercy.
Can you talk about the second dose of this vaccine, and are those accounted for in this first shipment that we received?
Those are not accounted for in this. We are been instructed to give everything we have right now, not to hold back any vaccine for the second dose, which is approximately 21 days after the initial.
So what does it look like from here on out, Mike, as we have this first shipment? Do we expect to kind of keep our supply, and then as Moderna gets approved, is this something that we're going to probably just continue on from after today?
Oh yeah, this is the beginning of a very long process of making sure folks are vaccinated. All the logistics, this is just the start, but it's an exciting start.
We just had some people join. So again, I just want you to describe what this moment is like as a pharmacist, as somebody who is in the loop on all of this stuff, and kind of what this today means.
Today is probably one of the most exciting and historical days in my career, and almost 40 years of it. To have this vaccine, to have the process and how the vaccine is going to help mitigate the COVID pandemic that we currently have out there. I mean, this is the hope we've been looking for, waiting for, and I can't wait till this gets into the hands of the arms of the general public later this spring.
Can you describe the mood for just pharmacy staff
Oh,
today?
my God, they're all excited. I mean, we're just running around. Everybody want to see the vial. Everybody want to see the container that it came in. It just truly a great moment for, well, everybody, not just pharmacy.
Will there be any changes to any PPE for staffing after employees are vaccinated?
Absolutely not. We still need to learn a lot about the vaccine, and but we also need to realize we're coming into the flu season too. So caution is probably key, and we're not going to drop our guard at this time. So we're going to keep wearing all the PPE necessary.
And then for anybody that might have missed it, because if some people again just joined, can you describe the process of putting it in the freezer, the rules around that? It's the last time I'll ask you, I promise.
Well, thanks, Taylor. Yeah, it is quite the process. I mean, we had to receive the shipping container, press a stop button on the digital tracker. We had 3 minutes from the time we took the dry ice package off the top to lift up the container where the vaccine pizza boxes, as we are calling them, were located. And there's 975 doses in each box, and there's 4 of them. We had 3 minutes to remove them and place them into the ultra low freezer, which we did quite quickly, probably well under 3 minutes. So, and that was the process of receiving the vaccine.
If you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and submit them now. But I just wanted to reiterate that now that we have the vaccine in our hands, we're going to be working on a plan to give it to staff, and you guys will be in the loop on that. As soon as we know it, we will share it. And I apologize for the last minute notice. We were just trying to get everything lined up to share it with you and wanted to share it with you as soon as we could. So we will be sending pictures and video to you to download as soon as it's ready. It's uploading right now. And Mike, I did have one more question come in. Have you had lots of employees asking to be the first in the group to get vaccinated?
We've been able to fill the first slots. I guess that's about all I can say for that. We need to be cautious about that and make sure that we do spread those doses out amongst departments to make sure that we don't have any folks feel under the weather, because that's a known potential from the vaccine, but it's really short-lived, usually around 24 hours.
All right, any final thoughts, Mike, before we close out?
Nope, time to get back to work. And so I really appreciate this. It's, to me, an incredible moment. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'll send out the recording link as well as the link to those photos and videos. We'll be in touch. Thanks.